All right, so mean is the average of a set of numbers. Okay, it's basically just another word for mean or average. Okay, average is when step one you add all the numbers up and then divide by how many there are. So mean and average mean the same thing in math. Okay, you're finding the average of like test scores. So if you wanted to find the average score you get on test, you add them all up and divide by how many you've taken. And that will give you the average on all the tests you've taken in a class or whatever. So down here for our example, okay, we have test scores that they gave us. So the first step is to add them all up. So we're going to do 70 plus 85 plus 85 plus 90 plus 100. And what do we get? 430. So that's step one. Step two now is we're going to take that number we just found, 430, and divide by how many numbers there are. So how many numbers are there? 5. So you do 430 divided by 5. 86. So the mean is 86. So their average on the test scores was an 86. So after 5 tests, their average score was 86. Pretty good. So that's how you find mean. Okay, you add them all up, divide by how many are. Any questions on that? All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, now we're going to talk about median. So median is the middle number of a data set, or a set of data. Okay, median. So when you're doing this, all right, whenever you're doing any of this, mean, median, mode, range, the first step here I would do every time. You're going to order them from least to greatest every time. It just makes things a lot easier. Because then step 2, to find the median, you're looking for the number that's in the middle. So the median is legitimately just the number that's in the middle of the set. That's it. You're not doing any calculations. It's just looking for the number that's in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to order these from least to greatest. So what's the very least?
65.
65. What would be next?
73.
Next?
85.
Next?
92.
And?
100.
Okay. So what I like to do, because I've told you before, I'm a visual person. Okay. I start on the left, cross out 1. Then I go to the right. It's like you're balancing it out. If you're cutting off one part, you got to cut off the other part. Okay, so I cut off this one, cut off this one. Now, there's only one left over. Whenever there's one left over, that's your median. So 85 is the number in the middle, is the median. That's it. That's all you got to do. Yes?
What if they only gave you beforehand?
We're going to talk about that. So if there's just one in the middle, that's your median. Now, if there's 2 in the middle, this is what you have to do. Okay, so if you end up crossing them out and you find 2 left over, okay, you have to find the mean of the 2 numbers. So I'll show you how that looks. So down here, we're going to order these from least to greatest first. So what's the least?
45.
Next.
62.
Next.
72.
Next.
86.
Next.
94.
And
100.
all right, so once again, I'm just going to start crossing them off, left to right. So I go left, right, left, right. Now, here's the problem. We have 2 left over. Can't cross those out because we won't have anything left. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up 72 plus 86, 158. And now, because there's only 2 of them, you're going to take 158 divided by 2.
79.
So 79 is your median. So whenever you have 2 left over in the middle, you got to find the average, the mean, and then whatever that answer is, that's your median. So you just add them up, divide by 2, and there's your median. Okay, any questions on those? So if it's just 1, it's the number in the middle. If it's 2, you got to add them up, divide by 2. That's it. All right, the next one. So the number that occurs the most or appears the most is called the mode. And what I mean by that, it's literally the number that repeats the most times. That's the mode. So it's the one that is showing up more often than the others. So step one, once again, order them from least to greatest. It's going to make things a lot easier and smoother in the long run. Okay, and then step two is look for the number that appears the most. Not the biggest number, the one that repeats the most. That's what you got to remember about that. Mode's not talking about the biggest number, it's talking about the one that repeats. All right, so down here we're going to order them from least to greatest. So what's the least?
71.
Next,
85.
next,
85.
next,
98.
and
100.
okay, so looking at this, we don't have to do anything. We're looking for the one that repeats the most, which is,
85.
that's your mode. That's it. Now, if you get a set like this, 55, 42, 77, 96. Okay, so before we even look, order these from least to greatest, what do you notice? Is there a mode?
No.
No. So your answer, when they ask you, would be no mode. That's the only one you can do that for. All right? So if there's not one that repeats, it's legitimately, your answer is just no mode. That's it. Okay? It has to be repeating. So down here we had 85. So that's the mode. Now, the last one here is called the range. So that is the difference between the biggest number, the greatest number, and the least number, the smallest one. What's difference mean?
Subtract.
Subtraction. Okay, we're subtracting. So you order them from least to greatest again, and then the final step is to subtract. The biggest number minus the smallest number, and I'll show you how that works. So down here we got order them from least to greatest again. So it's the same numbers from up there, so 71, 85, 85, 98, 100. So you're taking the biggest number, which is
100.
minus the smallest number.
71.
And so our answer would be 29. So that's your range. So the range is when you literally take the biggest number minus the smallest number. And that's it. So the only one you're really doing a bunch of work for is the mean, the average, where you got to add a bunch of numbers up and then divide. Everything else is just basically looking at them after you order them. So what you guys are going to do now is you guys are going to go and do the back page here. So on the back they give you 4 situations. So the first one is temperature in Dallas, Texas. They want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Then you got the student ages at Parker Elementary School, food item prices at Walmart, and then student heights. So you're finding the mean, median, and mode in the range for all of them. Okay, you can work with a partner or by yourself. It's totally up to you. I'll give you about 5 to 10 minutes. Go ahead and get started. All right, so for the first one, we have temperature in Dallas, Texas. So we're going to order these from least to greatest. Which one's the least?
77.
Okay, next.
79. 86. 92.
All right, so when we add these up to find the mean, what do we get?
86.
Well, what do we add it up to?
Oh.
430. And we're going to divide by how many?
5.
5, because there's 5 of them. So you add them up and divide by how many there are. So 430 divided by 5?
84.
84. So then now the median, this is the reason why we went ahead and ordered it from least to greatest. This guys can go up here and start crossing them off. So the one in the middle, 86. Okay, the mode, the one that repeats the most, would be 86, because there's 2 of them. And then range is when you take the greatest number, 92, minus 77,
15.
which is 15. And that's it. Those are the 4 measures of center that you're going to find. Okay, student ages at Parker Elementary. So we're going to order them from least to greatest. What's the least? 6. Next.
8, 10, 11, 12.
Okay. So when we add them all up, what do we get? 63. And then how many are there? 7. So 63 divided by 7.
9.
So our mean is 9. Median now would be, we start crossing these off, and we get 8. So the mode, the one that repeats the most, 8. And the range would be 12 minus 6 equals 6. All right, now the food item prices. So the least,
450, 750, $10.
all right, so when we add them up, what do we get? 24. How many are there?
4.
So 24 divided by 4.
6.
So 6 is your mean. Median, now once we start crossing them out, the problem is we have 2 left over. So you add them together. Should get 12 divided by 2 because there's 2 of them. So 8 divided by 2, or 12 divided by 2 would be 6. Okay, the mode. There is no mode. Nothing repeats. And then the range is 10 minus 2, 8. So when there's not a number that repeats, there's just no mode. All right, and the last one here. Okay, so what would be the least?
36.
Okay.
41. 47. 57.
All right, so once we add them all up, what do we get all together? 200. Let's add these up. So 36 plus 41 plus 41 plus 47 plus 54 plus 57. Most of you have calculators, use them. That's why you have them.
276.
Should be 276. Divided by 6. So we get 46. Okay, the median now, we start crossing out. Okay, is 2, there's 2 left over again, so we have to add them together. So 41 plus 47, 88, divided by 2, 44. The mode, 41 is the only one that repeats. Now, real quick, since I just said that, sometimes what they'll do is they'll do 36, 36, 41, 41, 41, 54, 57. Now, yes, this repeats, but this one has 3. Whenever one has the most, still is the mode. So 41 would be the mode there. Now, okay, the range would be 57 minus 36, which equals 21. Okay, so that's mean, median, mode, and range. Any questions? All right, today for homework, it is IXL, 6th grade, HH2. Okay, you have the rest of the hour to work on it. Go ahead and get busy.